This is The Law Show on CL 650. Now back to the show.
Welcome back to The Law Show. Sterling Fox with Joe Murphy and Bill Dick from MurphyBattista Personal Injury Lawyers in Vancouver. On the program today, we're talking about ICBC injury claims, the process. Joe Murphy, a couple of questions for you. We don't have a lot of time here, but we've got time for your answers to these, you and Bill. How does the money start? A person gets, the breadwinner in a family gets injured and can't provide. The injury is significant. This person is going to be out for a while. Mortgages, groceries, kids, hockey, all of that stuff, no money, zero. How does the money start, if at all? And secondly, maybe, Bill, you want to take this one, how do claims get valued? How does a judge or a jury evaluate what an award should be? But, Joe, how does that money get started? If you're the breadwinner, it's almost as scary not to be able to provide for your family as it is to be hospitalized with a serious injury.
Well, Sterling, the ICBC coverage that you have, this is where they become your insurer, provides for $300 a week in wage loss benefits. Now, like any other insurance coverage, there's a number of terms and conditions associated with that. One of them is that the person first has to apply for and exhaust their EI sick benefits. But in any event, when the $300 kicks in, $300 a week is about $1,300 a month.
Yeah.
That's not enough to pay the ongoing expenses of a family.
Not a chance.
If a person has only that and a family to support, they're in a real dilemma. The financial problems add to the
stress,
impact and stress of the accident.
You bet.
The lucky ones have a private or group disability insurance plan that will pay them far more than $300 a week. Now, I should say, the $300 a week has been the amount for about 25 or 30 years.
Wow.
ICBC has been asked many times, why don't you increase that? Because look at how everything else has increased, and for some reason it hasn't been changed. And again, if a family's stuck with $300 a week, there's a real problem because very few families have money put away for a rainy day.
Absolutely.
Very few have enough to top up $300 to what the family actually
So is there
needs.
any way you as their lawyer can leverage some kind of cash flow beyond $300 a week? Because this family is hooped otherwise.
It used to be that ICBC, in serious cases where the fault was fairly obvious, would make advances to people.
Okay.
They'd say, we understand that you've got problems, so we're going to advance you $5,000, $10,000, sometimes more. But the willingness to do that has become less and less over the years, whereas now it's quite rare for advances to be made. The exception is when people have not hired a lawyer, ICBC sometimes, to keep them away from hiring a lawyer, will make advances to them. They want to keep them happy. They want to keep them happy and sort of in the fold. But we try and help families that are in a real financial crunch solely because they got injured in an accident caused by someone else.
Right.
And if you have a wife and kids, and they've got to be supported. Rent or mortgage has got to be paid.
Yep.
The hydro's got to be paid. The groceries got to be bought. So they really don't have a choice. But $300 a week is so inadequate.
Yeah.
Nobody could live on $300 a week or $1,333 a month.
And Bill, this is perhaps unfair with such a limited amount of time left, but you hear these paltry numbers like $300 a week, and then the other side of the coin is you hear about these mega $1 million awards. How do courts place a value on what should be awarded?
I mean, it's a question that's asked of us almost. Well, some people are too polite to ask the question right away, but a lot of people say, what's the value of my claim?
Right, sure.
And the answer is always, I don't know yet, because you have to figure out, ultimately, what's going on when all of your healing has taken place. What are you left with in terms of the rest of your life? How is it going to impact you? And that's what we're looking at is, how have your injuries impacted you across many different domains? So there's wage loss.
Yes.
So past wage loss, there's future wage loss and earning capacity.
Okay.
There's non-pecuniary damages, your pain and suffering. How do you put a price tag on that? The court looks at a number of different factors when they look at what have you lost, how has it impacted you, things like how old are you, how much pain you're in, how long that injury is going to last over the course of your life.
So it's a case-by-case evaluation.
Very, very unique to every individual case. You can't generalize, really. You have to look at every case, including the pain and suffering. How does it affect you? If I break my pinky, it's different if I'm a concert pianist
No kidding.
than if I'm a social studies teacher.
Sure,
it's very
sure.
different. It's very individualized, and that's how we look at them.
Okay.
We could probably spend an hour talking about how you value them. But
and we must.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we're out of our hour right now. But I look forward to that opportunity because this is a biggie for a lot of just curious people. How do they come up with these numbers? What's the formula? So we'll explore that at greater depth. Bill, it's good to see you again.
Good to see you.
As you head back up to the Okanagan, well, hopefully we'll get you back down here for more law shows later in the year.
that sounds good.
Joe, always a pleasure, sir.
Thank you, Sterling.
We'll see you next time, friends, right here on CL 650's Law Show.